Foundations on Makeup Foundation. Sounds kind of cool. And no, it is not about foreskin, just so that you all know. So you can just have that last. The reason why I chose this topic is I've always had a problem with having my makeup, getting my makeup to stay on all day. Which brings me to my question, which type of foundation would resist water the best? My null hypothesis is that there is no difference between each type of foundation and their water resistance. And my alternative hypothesis is there is a difference between two or more types of foundation and their water resistance. Experimental, these are just my materials, the main materials that I used. Clean foundation brushes, a 5 milliliter medicine dropper. That was the only thing that I found that was able to measure water. 3 types of foundation I use: liquid, mineral, and cream. And I have a short video about my procedures.
Are you tired of looking like this on a rainy day? Do you want to look flawless for your hot date without making him wait for hours? No, Sabrina, will you hurry it up? You're not wait for us. Wait, honey, I'm almost done.
You sure that was better now?
Ready to go? Hi, I'm Lisa, and as a girl, I've always wanted to look my best, whether it was going to school or going out with my friends. However, one of the problems that I've always had was that my makeup can be smudged whenever I went out on a rainy day. So I began to ask myself, what type of foundation would resist water the most? And then I found that, again, it's very important. Before you apply any type of makeup on your face or on the skin, the very first important step is to apply makeup remover to make sure that the skin is clean before you begin. Okay, so the first foundation, I'm just going to apply just one dab. That was one. Foundation number 2, use a different clean foundation brush. Apply it evenly. Are you ready, Sabrina? Yes, let me find the last one.
Pause that real quick. The reason why she has a hoodie over her head was because she was supposed to be blindfolded, but we couldn't find a blindfold. So the only thing we could find was a hoodie over her head. So that's probably why.
I'm supposed to
Why
be
is
ready
there a
for
hoodie over her
waterboarding
head?
or something.
No, she's just crazy.
Now, I remember you mentioning in your interview that your makeup smears whenever you perform on stage. So let's see what happens when I add a milliliter of water to each sample. Okay. Merging reverse order. Sample 1, 2, 3. This time I'm going to add about 2 milliliters. sample 1, you can actually see the foundation is beginning to run down. Sample 2, it's kind of staying on the skin, but it's beginning to fade. Right here. Now look at sample 3. Tell me what you see. It's still there, and it's not running like the other 2. Amazing. So, for my 3 samples, which one do you think is Sky So Beautiful? Well, honestly, based on all 3 of these, I really, really hope it's number 3. Because for one, it's so lightweight, it matches my skin tone perfectly, and it doesn't run in the rain. So that means I'll be able to dance as much as I want to, and my makeup will still be there. Please, please, please tell me that is Sky So Beautiful. It certainly is. Now where can I buy it? Y'all women need to find some makeup that doesn't take that long to put on. Have you ever heard of Sky So Beautiful? Yeah, it's my best friend, and I'm going to give it to my girlfriend as a present for her birthday. And you can get it too. It's only 3 payments of $29.99. And for today, to make your man's day, I will pay one of your payments. So that's only 2 payments of $29.99. If you want one, call 1-800-756-7742. Just 2 payments of Sky Soap, and not only you, but your man will be very, very happy.
That was my procedure. After the video, I noticed that I ran into a problem. I was like, how am I going to measure my data? So I had to kind of tweak my procedures a little bit. So I redid the procedures. I redid the experiment. I applied each type of foundation, like I did liquid all at once, 1, 2, 3, 4. I put a blob, like 4 blobs on my arm, and I would use the foundation brush and I would do the streak, just like you saw in the video. But this time, I had to hold my arm over a white piece of paper and then use the medicine dropper with the water and count the number of drops it would take until I saw some the color of foundation beginning to drip in the water droplets. This is some of my observations for the liquid foundation. You can see like brown color. This was the mineral, which was the Sky So Beautiful mineral foundation. And as you can see, very little foundation was visible. Cream foundation, it's kind of hard to see this, but there were actually a lot of white flakes. Even though it wasn't brown, there were a lot more white flakes that were visible compared to the mineral foundation. And I kept track of each experiment by doing a chart where I did 10 trials of each. And the amount of water, it represents the number of water droplets. So for trial 1, it took 12 water droplets until I saw makeup foundation beginning to be visible on the white piece of paper. And I found that the average was 13.2 water droplets. For the cream, I did the same thing. The average was 24 droplets. For the mineral, which was the Sky So Beautiful, 44.8 droplets. So I decided to do an ANOVA single factor test. And looking at, I did a one-way single factor because I'm only measuring one factor, which was the water resistance. And looking at the F value, as you can see, it is much greater than the F critical value, so therefore you can say that there is a statistical difference between the variables. However, it doesn't tell you which variables that have where the statistical difference is. So therefore, I had to continue testing by doing a t-test. The first one was a liquid versus cream. The p-value was 0.00162, and I went by the p-value of 0.05. So if So based on this, my value is much smaller than 0.05. So you can say that there is a statistical significance. And obviously with this one as well, liquid versus mineral. Cream versus mineral, 6.63972 e raised to the 11. So my results are rejected, all three. Liquid versus cream, liquid versus mineral, cream versus mineral. Since I saw that there was a statistical difference in all three. Improvements that I could have changed to make my experiment better was to measure my foundation more accurately. I found that it was very difficult to measure mineral and cream and liquid foundation as accurate as possible because they're made out of different types of active ingredients. Like mineral is made out of like a powdery ingredient, and liquid is obviously liquid made out of water. So it's more water. So it's very hard. It was very difficult for me to measure it accurately. So basically on my experiment, I really had to eyeball it as close as possible. But that would have made my results more accurate if I had found a way to measure them more exact. Also, with the water, I thought that maybe my results would be more accurate if I had used milliliters instead of counting droplets. So in conclusion, SKyTeach is the best because it showed, based on the chart, you can see that it takes a much more amount of water droplets until the makeup begins to fade compared to the cream and the liquid. Anyone have any questions?
I mean, I don't know, this is one I'm asking. Usually whenever people do the t-test, they do the two-tailed. Why did you do a one-tail?
I did a one-tail because I thought I was looking at just a one-way, like I could actually see based on my chart that I just showed you that one was actually greater than the other. So I was just, that's the reason why. Sorry, it's not clear, but do you kind of know what I'm saying? Any other questions?
Just one comment, when you present your data there, it was a little distracting that your decimals all took 2 lines to print.
Oh.
So either make that where that they'll all fit on the same line, or just cut it to fewer decimal places. Because you know what I'm saying, that we've got the 0 point something something, then it goes to the next line.
Right.
And when you're looking at those charts, you think, well, what's that second line of numbers? Not realizing that. And also I think you can realize that when you're getting to decimals that are that small anyway, we don't need 6, 7, 8 places you can make do.
I'm pretty new to Excel myself, so.
You'll learn and you'll love it.
Does anyone have any other questions? Oh, my model was Sabella. I know in the video we call her Sabrina because she didn't want to be Sabella.
What was your name in the video? Tell them.
Wow.
My last name was something something bitch. Because I'm Bosnian.
Cut that part out.
Yeah, I see the correlation.